Hello all and welcome back to another informative video. So today I'm very excited and happy to be here. It's mainly because I want to start today's video by saying a big thanks to all of you because we have reached the first milestone, which is 500 subscribers. I know it's not a big number, but still it means a lot to me, because ours is a very new channel, and we are not dealing with a range of topics, but still with this limited in this limited time, with this limited information, you all have been so supportive. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for your comments, your likes, and all your words of encouragement I've been receiving personally and also on YouTube. So I need your support even furthermore so that we can do a lot of things together, and we will keep a family growing to many more people. And we want many more people to be helped, and we want them to get a lot of information from this channel. That is the main aim of why I created it. So today's video is basically a Q&A session. From the moment I've started my channel, I know it's just been, I think, 4 to 6 months. I've been receiving a lot of queries, especially below my video on how to find a job in the NHS, how to find a career in the UK, what are the top professions that are available at the moment, and things like that. Basically, I wanted to conduct a live Q&A session so that I would get a chance to see you guys and answer you face to face. But that's become a challenge with a lot of commitments around. So I thought then this is the right moment to get back to you. And let's say in future, if we get a chance, we would definitely do that. So basically, selected a lot of questions from many of you. Most of the questions are very similar and very repetitive. So I thought that I would answer few so that most of you would be find it useful, and we can take it on from there. Very common questions are like, what course did you do? And I am so and so, I've done a degree in this. What can I do next? So some are like really vague and broad answering questions, which you can't just drop down in comments. So I've tried to reply to most of you with whatever simple things and like as much brief as possible. So let's go to our first question today. So it's by Nasreen. So it's, hello Dr. Gray, hope you're doing well. Can you please guide me as I'm currently fresh past BAM student doing my internship in India, and within 8 to 9 months I'll be moving to the UK on dependent visa as my partner is a skilled work. Can a BAM student join emergency services or any other category, particularly any course or diploma which I can do in India? So let me tell you one thing. There are many queries related to what we have got today. There are a lot of things which we have to understand with respect to finding a job abroad, because there needs to be a lot of dedication, determination, hard work, so that you can reach your aim. So simply, I have people who say, I'm so and so, can you please help me find a job? Which is a really vague question, and it's really hard for me to answer because everything depends on your individual eligibility and the skills you have personally as you have gained in your work experience and things like that. So we have to make sure that we select the right country. So if you want, for example, you need UK, you have to make sure that why do you need UK, what are your preferences? Because if someone is in UK, it blindly doesn't mean that everyone has to move to UK. There are so many other countries who are offering good opportunities to skilled workers and people who are qualified. So for example, if you have selected country UK, so due to some so and so reasons, you have decided that you have to come to the UK. So second option will be, what profession are you planning? So when it comes to profession, most of the jobs here are based on your qualification plus your work experience plus the job role that suits you. Just because you have a degree like BHMS or BAMS or BNYS or MHA or anything for that matter of fact doesn't mean that you have to fit into certain criteria. Based on your qualification, based on the job experience. So when they put out a job advert, so you can see the number of skills you need to have in order to be eligible to apply for that post. So for example, if you are planning to work as a clinical nutritionist or dietitian or whatever it is, so you need to have a proper degree, plus you need to have so many years of experience of working in that particular position. If you have a qualification and you have the number of experiences, especially when it comes to skills, your skills should be matching with what they are looking into. Plus, if it is a job that requires licensing or registration, so you need to have a proper registration from your country first, and at the same time you need to have a registration of the country which you are planning to move. So for example, for nutritionists and clinical dietitians, here we have HCPC license, so you need to have that. Only if you have so many things, you can start applying for jobs. So it really takes some time, and there are so many documentations you have to be really particular about before you start, because even a single error or a mistake somewhere can completely spoil the process. And before I actually get into the requirements and process, English language requirements are compulsory, especially if you're planning to come on a skilled worker visa or you're looking for a job with a sponsorship. So even if you're planning to take up some courses here, then also you again require certain language requirements. So only if you clear that first, you will be eligible to apply for the licensing. And if you get the licensing, then you can go forward with that. And before we even start applying, so for example, you have your licensing and things, the best thing to start is to create a really um attractive resume of what qualifications you have, what job sectors you are mainly looking into, what skills you have, what further courses have you done, and things like that. So, and mainly the resume which you are preparing should have the same keywords that they're looking for. For example, if I'm looking for a job in primary care, then my experience and my job role of my previous experiences should mention the fact that I have experience in primary care for so many years. So then it actually matches, and it will help you to go to your next level. So let's move on to the next question. So we have a question from Hardi Patel. Hello, ma'am. I have a question to ask. I've completed my BMS, now planning to take up some courses abroad, most possibly in UK because some of my relatives are there. Which courses can you suggest should I take up? Will it be helpful if I do my EMS here in India and then try for UK, or if it's beneficial if I take up EMS in the UK? So I am not an expert when it comes to suggesting courses. You know your background, you know your skills, and you know your passion. So there are so many things that is driven by passion. So you can't force someone to get into a course and study it and practice it if you don't like it, just for the sake that it has got scope or it is going to help you to get into some other country. So based on what passion you have, because once you start working, if you are going to do something that you don't like, then it's going to be really boring and it's not going to help you reach anywhere. If you need to have career development, there should be some aspect of passion. That is what I basically believe. And regarding it's compulsory, should we study here or not? It is not compulsory, because all the qualifications which I have are from India. I don't have any qualifications abroad, but still I was able to get a job here, get my license here, and I'm also working here. So even for example, if you have done any of the undergraduate medical course, for example, if you want to take up emergency medicine, there are courses in India itself or in any other country where you're watching from. Like there might be postgraduate diploma, there might be MSc in emergency medicine. So if you have that qualification as an additional thing, along with certain years of experience, at least like minimum 1 to 2 years of experience, then you are definitely eligible to apply for the registration or licensing. If you have the licensing, then things are really easy, because they do a really good verification of all the educational qualifications what you have. They call places where you've worked, and based on that you will be definitely able to go further with your job application. Okay, hope that's clear. So it's not a matter whether you have a qualification from India or from any other country, or you have in UK. So, and you have to be really careful when you're thinking about courses, because There are a lot of things which you should know because of the recent changes in the visa applications and things. They've really made a lot of regulations than what it was before. It was easy to get any courses here. For example, somebody from complete medical background could take up a management course, and they had a lot of options. But now they've strictly reduced the what options we had, because there were so many people who were just coming for the sake of moving to the UK, and they were not completing their studies, and they were not sticking to what courses they came from. So there's been a lot of issues that's going on. I think this is the last year. September intake might be the last year they are accepting this. So from next year, it's going to be strict regulations based on what courses you have to select. So we are still waiting for the updates regarding that. So in case we get an information, definitely I'll be sharing that to you. So any course you study, make sure you have the proper qualifications, the proper experience, and apply for the suitable position what you have. Then we have a question. Please tell us how to get a sponsorship jobs after completing MPH or MHA or anything. Yeah. It's not a big challenge to find a job with sponsorship, but there are few things which we have to be really careful about. Some of them being there are certain websites like NHS jobs, and still there is a huge vacancy for a lot of health professionals from around the world. So when they are opting international applicants, definitely they'll be giving sponsorship, without which you can't work here. So if you go to sites like gov.uk, nhsjobs.com, and put in your profession, the particular profession you are planning to come here. So at the end of the job description or the job details, so they will have mentioned that job sponsorships available. So that means that you can definitely apply. So make sure you go through it very carefully. Please don't blindly apply. So when you blindly apply for jobs, no way you will get through. We have to be really smart. It is not just hard work. Just match. For example, if there is a job that is requiring experience of 5+ years, and you have just an experience of 2 or 3 years, there is no point in applying for the job, because they are very, very particular in the essential criteria what they're looking for, so that your application will not go through and it is just utter waste of time. So if you're going to apply for, if you have an experience of 5+ years as per the job role, then you can definitely go forward. See the skills, see the certifications what they're looking for, see the licenses what they're looking for, see for the additional qualifications, and only if you have that, you can go for it. So if there is some particular course they're looking for and you don't have that, you can definitely go and do some research and see how you can do that course, whether there is any option for that course to be done from some other country, or there is any online option, or is there any license that you can apply from back home. So things like that, because I applied for my HCPC license from India, so I was working in Delhi at that time, so I could apply for it and I could get a job and then move here. Yeah, so it's that way. And then so most of the questions are like exactly the same. So which course you have done, ma'am? I am a BNY's graduate. I'm planning to work in the UK but don't know how to enter. Can you please share more information? So to say more about that, I have my undergraduate medical degree in naturopathic science, which is BNYS, which is a 5.5 year medical course recognized by Government of India. I did it under Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. And after that, I have like around, I graduated in 2015. So since then, I've been working in primary care. Then I got a job in Dubai. So I worked there for some time as a wellness consultant. And then I decided that because during the COVID, I really wanted to work in the emergency. So that is when I got introduced to this particular course, which was run by NHS UK in collaboration with a training center back in India. So I was luckily fortunate. I was fortunate that I got into it. But unfortunately, I was the last person, or ours was the last batch. So, due to some reasons, they had to close up the training center. So, that training center no more exists. So, which is a sad thing. And so many people ask me, can you please tell where you did the course? Yeah, that is the place. It was not like a proper college or anything, but it was an emergency course which was run by privately in collaboration with NHS UK. So after that, after the limited number of people, they had to close down. So I just got through it, and then I applied for my HCPC license under the emergency medicine, where you can work as ambulance paramedic, paramedic practitioner, primary care paramedic. So it's all like related positions, everything in the healthcare, mainly related to emergency and patient care and things like that. So then I got my license, and then I applied for the job, and I luckily I got my job very quickly, just within 2 to 3 weeks of my license. I got my job, which was quite easy. And still there are a lot of options available, and there are recruiting people from abroad, but only under one criteria, that you have to meet the same skill sets of what they're looking for. And we have more questions, like postgraduate diploma and clinical research coordinator. Definitely there are options. You can search for clinical research coordinator jobs. Under that, please go and find what specification it is, because it is really hard to give a really broad idea of each professions. I had an interesting question from someone who asked about clinical coding, which is getting quite popular, like medical coding, clinical coding. There are clinical coder jobs. A lot of jobs I recently looked for, some of them who were asking about it. So everything solution is go to NHS jobs, log in and create an account, go to the jobs, see the criteria, get ready your documents according to it, see if there are any license or registration required, and just straightly apply. Pharmacy experience, pharmacy services, you can enter UK with the same qualifications if you have. So these are some of the popular questions what I've received. So make sure that you have a good resume before you start applying for jobs. And sometimes it's really hard to talk on different each professions particularly, but it's quite similar, because everything comes under healthcare sector, and there are so many jobs that are available, not just for healthcare sector. Also there are jobs under IT, administration, and so many other services. So make use of the opportunity. So be ready to do some research, some hard work, and once you are getting into that process, there's no turning back. So you have to be really determined, so that you clear each of the process, each of the steps successfully. And then one or the other day, if you have hard work, determination, definitely you will succeed. There is no hard and fast rule for that, because see, being someone from India, or with just with AYUSH degree, without having any what additional qualifications abroad, basically. So I also have a degree in critical care medicine, which was by Society of Critical Care Medicine US. So luckily during COVID they did the course online, so which I have cleared that. So, and I have so many other certifications, like emergency and obstetric care, advanced first aid, and so many other courses which we need to know on the long run. I think I have around 20 to 25 additional certifications, which is not really hard, but on the way you can definitely gain. So all these add to your qualifications and make your application stronger. And because I have license, I have the registration, so it becomes easy, and it helps our application to stand out. And this is my second job abroad, because my first job was in Dubai. So I just had 1.5 years of experience. Yeah, hardly, yeah, because I had just graduated in 2015, and by 2016-17 I was already in Dubai. So it is not in like having too many qualifications or too many degrees or anything. It is in having smart work. Try to get hold of courses that will help you find a job quickly. For example, if you have an undergraduate course, there are I'll share the link of the professions that are regulated by HCPC. So you can just have a look, and any of the courses you can take from that, so that you can be eligible to apply for HCPC. So I've tried to cover as much as possible. So please feel free to comment your questions below, and I'll try to get back to you. And hopefully we'll come up with more exciting topics and informative. So the more you ask, the more you get. So unless and until you ask, it's really hard for me to know what exactly you want, and I would like to go in that flow. So thank you so much for your time. We'll see you soon with something more exciting and interesting. Till then, take care. Bye bye.